So today we have traits and skills of an entrepreneur. Traits and skills of an entrepreneur. And speaking of traits and skills, the material before us here reads: for an entrepreneur to be successful in any vocation, he or she must have decided to explore, add value through innovations and technological advancement of a particular innovation that produces swift and massive production. Such entrepreneur must possess the following traits and skills. In our last class, I was able to explain the difference between an entrepreneur as well as an intrapreneur. An entrepreneur as well as what? An intrapreneur. So, which I want to believe majority of us did not forget that the difference between intrapreneur and equally as that of entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship. So now I want to believe we give detailed explanation of the difference between these two. However, what are the traits expected of an entrepreneur? The first one here reads what? Creativity. Creativity. Because an entrepreneur must be very creative by way of what? Added values and bringing in new ways of production, service rendering, and attracting potential customers for which his or her entrepreneurship vocation is targeted at in a given market. So when it comes to creativity, these are just added values most entrepreneurs add to their product, they add to their services, they add to whatever they are marketing out there. Without some of this creativity comes in form of what we are referred to as the word branding or packaging. At the end of the day, the way you even deliver your product speaks a lot of volume about what you're selling or about that thing you're trying to add value to. So when it comes to creativity, it has to do with what? Values and bringing in what? New ways of what? Production, service rendering, and attracting potential customers. And that is where we're actually going to. Creativity is about what? Attracting more customers, attracting potential customers, for which is our entrepreneurship vocation is targeted at in what? A given market. And the next one here reads what? We have innovative. Innovative. I hope we all can see what we have on our screen.
Yes.
I shared the same slide as the material you work with in your class. I've already shared it on this platform. So the next one here, which is what? Innovative. An entrepreneur must be what? Must be innovative. So this means an entrepreneur must be able to create business in a more advanced manner that brings ease and modernity in their chosen business of exploration or vocation. When it comes to innovation, it has to do with looking at our definition of the word media entrepreneurship itself. It has to do with adding one voice to the existing voice in the market. Adding what? One voice. If people had to go to their radio station, probably make use of their radio, the regular radio station, not the one, the radio set rather, not the ones you have on your handset. There is no form of notification for the regular radio sets we all have. But if you are bringing in something different, you are trying to be innovative as regards how to keep people in check, how to notify them once a particular program is about to start, then you can build up your own app as a radio station and at the same time send notification for those that have this application on their own phone to say by so time there's a program that will be coming up on air, and that is using that notification to do the job of a duty continuity announcer. Now this duty continuity announcer only comes on air, and what do? They tell you the next program. But your innovation can be in form of, instead of letting people to tune into that channel, you rather send a notification. We all get notification when we have our WhatsApp message pop up. We all get notification for our Instagram. Same thing for some of our Infinix phones today. We get notification for some radio program we must have subscribed to. And the third one here is perseverance. And speaking of perseverance, an entrepreneur must have what? A persevering spirit. He or she must be dogged, consistent, and determined in achieving his or her outlined goals, even when business is failing or business or vocation is facing some challenges. Some of us get to run away from some of these media enterprises we run. By the time we start facing one or two challenges, and then we feel the challenges are way higher than us, or the challenges can actually weigh down the business, considering the capital we actually invested in it over the years. Some of us run away from it. But it is expected of an entrepreneur to persevere through all these moments. So he or she must stick to the plan and weather the storm of the business. So by so doing, he or she must have learned the ups and downs of the business or vocation and creatively find solution to the problem when they arise, or proactively set up measures that we call future occurrences. When you persevere through some type of businesses that you run, particularly the media business, there are some ups and downs you get to face. Sometimes, considering the Nigerian factor, there is no diesel, there is no fuel, there's no PMS to run the station, and even the PHCN is not doing the regular thing. It just give you constant electricity as expected. Some of them will have to persevere through. All they have to do is for an example, or KFM, sometimes have to shut down stations that are not financially buoyant enough to keep running on day-to-day basis like this will have to shut down eventually. But those that have the persevering spirit will learn the ropes. How do we manage our flow? How do we manage even our staff? How do we manage their remuneration at the end of the day? So they have to persevere. Persevere is more like being dogged, being consistent and determined to achieve a specific goal. And the next one here is risk. An entrepreneur must be able to what? Take risk. And these are if there is one word we've mentioned from the beginning of this class up to the end, is what? Is risk taking. It is expected that every entrepreneur out there must be ready to take the risk. Without you having the mindset to take risk, then you are likely not to even start the business. So an entrepreneur, particularly when it comes to media, must be able to do what? Take risk. He or she must be courageous enough to dive in deep waters of business or vocations as regards media, explore new opportunities, and take convincing but yet profitable chances at expanding businesses. Most radio stations today don't just stop at having just one station in one state. They go as far as setting it up in a particular region, go to another region to set it up, and some even travel as far as the diaspora to set up some of these media outfits. It's not that they have the money to waste, but rather all they're doing is just taking their own chances as well to see a business survive and to see the media business grow. An example of this is your Fresh FM. We have Fresh FM in Ibadan. We call it Fresh FM in Osogbo. Today we have Fresh FM in the diaspora too as well. Meaning the owner of Fresh FM, which is in Ayefele, is actually just taking what? Taking risk. Taking his time to invest and reinvest in the same business he feels he knows much about. And the next one is what? Vision. When it comes to vision, an entrepreneur must be able to have a foresight, have a long view ahead for a particular business. Where am I going to? Where do I want to be in the nearest future? So an entrepreneur must be a visionary when it comes to what? Business, particularly media business. He or she must be able to see business futuristic opportunities that will further help expand the frontiers of what? The business. So being a visionary, an entrepreneur must take what? The intellectual know-how of seeing what others in the same line of business cannot see, and thus take steps towards achieving those future goals. I'll give you the regular example of a business outfit in Ilorin, and that is Captain Cook. He didn't just start with making bread for people to come and buy, eat, and then leave, but rather he noticed having people come down to challenge access to buy this bread alone can make some of them decide, I'm not eating today, probably when I'm coming back from work tomorrow, I'll get it. And I thought of a brilliant idea. Why not take this business to these people? Why not take this bread to them, and the closest part of their home? So if I'm living at Summit University and someone in front of Olafas Plaza is selling Captain Cook, I can just go there, get my Captain Cook, and go back to the hostel, rather than take my transport, take a cab, or take a napep, or take a bike to Owodi to get us. And this is equally applicable to business, media business as well. Most of these owners are actually visionaries. All they want to do is ensure that the name of their radio station rings bell to anybody across the nation. Some have different vision, and they have different ways of executing some of this vision. So majority of them must be able to what have the foresight. If you're investing in the media, you are expected to have what a vision. Where do you expect to be in 5 years? Where do you expect to be in 7 years? All of these things comes in and those are the things that will serve as your driving force eventually. So he or she must be able to see the business futuristic opportunities. And what are the opportunities this business is likely to create for me in nearest future? That will further expand the horizon of the business, expand the frontiers of the business, particularly media. So being a visionary and entrepreneur must have the intellectual know-how of seeing what others in the same line of business cannot see. Meaning you all are you are running the same business, but some are not seeing what you're seeing. And for the fact that you're able to think ahead, have a long look ahead, makes you what a visionary. And the last one is intelligence. I want to talk about, speaking of intelligence, an entrepreneur must be what? Very intelligent. Being a very intelligent entrepreneur allows an entrepreneur to think very fast and take swift but well-planned decisions about business or vocation of choosing. So it also allows them to fill missing gaps as well in business that could mar the existence of such business. Now, when you're smart enough, when you're intelligent enough, you know where your business is going. You know how well to run the business. You know how well to start. You know some of the things that are likely to pose as challenges for you as the entrepreneur, for the media entrepreneur that you are. So being very intelligent entrepreneur allows an entrepreneur to think very fast and take swift but well-planned decision. They don't just take swift decision just like that. It has to be what? Well-planned. And they have to decide how and when to take that decision. Meaning the decision has to come from serious constructive criticism before they can decide this is the direction we're going to. And equally allows them to fill missing gaps in business that could mar the existence of such business. Now, this is our